All right. You know, if like a Fear Street fan account shared my Fear Street review, and I kind of like wanted to message them and ask, like, did you watch the review? Cause I didn't like the movie. Like, are you just sharing anything that's Fear Street related? Did they share my previous Fear Street? Anyway, that was just like weird. I just like looked at it, was like, who the fuck should? Okay. Anyway, here to talk about Bring Her Back. And it's like the second ever movie from the Rocka Rocka Boys, after their lovely Talk to Me, which is it here? Nope, that says Robert Eggers on it. Where is it? It's here. I have it next to me on my desk somewhere. Nope, that's not it. The fuck, I thought I had it. Oh no, that was it. I was holding it. Yeah. It's a little dusty. Got my Talk to Me. Um yeah, so the Rocka Rocka Boys are back, and I remember like them talking about how like they have like a second movie that's not the sequel to Talk to Me, and I was like, okay, you know what, boys, like I'm in for the ride, as I said, like during my Talk to Me review, that like I know like their stuff, I know like their good stunt work and all that shit, and them doing horror, I'm like, that's fine. Like I said, Talk to Me was fucking like awesome. And then this movie, I remember hearing a lot of people were like, "Oh, this movie was gross," but like not in like a "oh, it sucks" gross, but like, "Oh, this movie was very disturbing." Like people, excuse me, were saying like, "Oh yeah," people I was with were like like gagging, like almost puking watching the movie. I was like, "What the fuck did they?" Did Rocka Rocka make Sallow or something? Like what the fuck? Oh my god. But I'll go into the spoilers. It's a movie I like, so I'll go into spoilers a little later. And yeah, so like I said, I really enjoyed it. Like they're God, one, they're really good at like gory stuff, which again I knew. And two, like kind of like would Talk to Me. You kind of find yourself going into it being like, yeah, give me the spooky ookies, and then you're like, damn, son. You know what I mean? There's like layers of it and all that stuff. Yeah, I guess I'll go into spoilers, but yeah. So like I said, I really liked, you know, bring her back and all that stuff for a hot minute when I was watching the movie. I was like, I don't what didn't understand the title until like, oh. Anyway, so spoilers, 1, 2, 3 spoilers. So I've said a bajillion times previously about how they're movies that you kind of see like similar stories to, but if it's done in its like own way, fuck it, let's go for it. Kind of like whatever fucking shit I was shitting on, like a month or so ago. And I was saying how like, oh yeah, again another movie that's like trying to be Hereditary, da da da, and this movie like has Hereditary vibes to it, because again it's about like family shit, and then weird shit starts happening and all that other stuff, like weird supernatural shit starts happening. So this is about like a young girl who's blind, or I guess specifically she's just like seeing impaired, because she says she still could see like lights and shapes, but bitch is blind. And then like her brother, I think like one of them was like adopted and all this stuff, because like the blind girl's Asian and the brother is a white kid, and so like the movie just starts off like, holy fuck, like the dad dies. I forgot if they mentioned if there was ever a mom or something, but like the dad's dead. He like dies in the shower, just like blah, 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 like whatever kind of shit. You're just like, that's how we're starting it. You know what I mean? Like it's already established. Sister's blind. It's also played. The actress is blind too. It's her first ever film. Like I think I read that it was like her mom, like the girl wasn't even like looking to act, but her mom just saw like some kind of like audition like on Facebook or something for like, hey, we're looking for like someone for this role who's like seeing impaired, and was just like, fuck it, let's try it. And I mean, like the girl like did pretty well. You know what I mean? As someone who's like never acted before, and this is like a pretty like decently big movie. You know what I mean? Especially now with like so many people like Talk to Me, and a lot of people are seeing the Rocka Rocka guys like and not know what Rocka Rocka is. You know what I mean? Like I'll say that, and people are like, what? And I'm like, anyway, and it's weird to be like, yeah, Danny and Michael. It's like, what? I just know him as Rocka Rocka. But anyway, so she did pretty well. So yeah, the movie just starts off with just like, all right, dead father kind of thing. I can relate. Although mine didn't just drop dead in the shower, but anyway. Um, so of course they're like, hey, your dad's dead. We're gonna put you in foster care, but separately. And the brother's like, no, but I'm like her caregiver, pretty much, like, saying like how the dad's shit. And so, and they're like, oh, well, in like 3 months you turn 18 and like then you can apply for guardianship. That shit always sucks. Like I know like the legality of that stuff, like I get why they have that, but it's like, come on, man, like 3 months. And also it's like the older brother, like she's blind, there's no like ill will, like fuck, man. And the fact that they want to set, that's also like, like the whole system of like foster care shit where it's like just hopping along, all that stuff. It sucks, man. And like, yeah, the fact, yeah, they want to like separate because they were saying how like, oh well, like the woman, like, kind of like something about like how like the woman just wanted to take care of one kid. But it's like, okay. And then so they said fuck it, like they were saying, told the brother, they're like, all right, you got 3 months, you better, be good, because it's kind of well known that like the brother was like, like a little shit when he was like younger, like 13 or something. And so, they're kind of already keeping an eye on him, like, I don't think you're gonna be a good guardian because, 4 years ago you were a little shit. And mind you, 13 and 17, like, the amount of growing up is like a good chunk. You know what I mean? I'm thinking back to like when I was 13 and then I was like 17, how like just drastic it was. More drastic than like obviously 33 and 37 or something like that. You know what I mean? You're like, you know. Um, yeah, like if you think about when you were like 23 or 27, like that, I feel like I was like a larger gap of like growing up and like just being, anyway. Um, so anyway, yeah. So they get to the house. It's what's her name, Sally Hawkins, of the mom from Paddington, and then from Shape of Water. She fucked the fish guy, and already it's like, she is just like hi, like kind of stuff, and then it just seemed a little too like she seemed obviously way more interested in the daughter, like the girl, than the boy, and then the boy like kind of noticed like little things like, okay, like there's tape around like the rug and like little things to kind of prevent someone most likely, with sight problems or whatever not, from tripping and falling. And he was kind of like, hey, like this was this did you do this like for my sister? Thanks. She goes, oh no, my daughter is blind. And they're like, oh yeah, where is she? And she's like, she's dead. And they were like, oh. So, like, on one hand, you're like, okay, that's probably why she wanted to foster this kid, because she already, like, previously had a blind kid, so she kind of understands, like, disability and all that stuff, and just probably wanted the one kid, da-da-da. But then you find out the kid's dead, so you're already kind of like, oh, God, like, she wants, like, a replacement daughter. And there we go. That is the whole thing about the movie, is that she wanted a replacement, so like the movie, it just escalates into Sally Hawkins' character going from like, I'm a proper mom type of thing, to just like gaslighting the fuck out of the boy, you know what I mean, into like him like thinking, like there's like that scene where he wakes up, he's like, did I pee myself? Because it's like, oh my god, I just saw like the measuring cup, and then I was like, wait, is she peeing? Oh my god, you see like the yellow fluid, and then she like walks into the room and just pours on his crotch, and it was like, god, that just peeing someone else's pants, like, god damn, woman, awful. Of course he wakes up, he's like, fuck, I pissed the bed? What the fuck, I'm 17, like, the hell? you know I don't know why I'm like, when was the last time when did I pee? No, like, when was the last time I peed in bed? I don't know, like 4 years old, you know what I mean? Like, you know? Um, so she's gaslighting the fuck out of him. She's also being, like, really, like, fucking snooping like shit. Because he'll be, like, texting, and then she, like, he would, like, put the phone down, turn around, and then, like, turn back, and she, like, has his phone in her hand, like, reading messages. Like, lady, chill the fuck, what? Damn, bitch. And again, you can tell she's giving like special treatment to the girl and all this stuff. Again, not just because she has a disability, but kind of like, this is my new daughter, you're replacing my dead one, in like a creepy way, And then so they have another like adoptive foster kid, whatever, in there, and he's like selectively mute. He's got like a shaved head. He's just kind of like, bah. he kind of acts out like, you know, he's in like the pool in the backyard, and the pool's drained because the daughter of the woman, like the daughter died drowning in the pool, probably because she's blind and they didn't have a fucking guardrail or something. And so the kid's like in the pool holding the family cat like a little too hard, and you're like, oh god, this is a freaking like, the 8-year-old serial killer right here kind of stuff. And that kid's just like weird the whole time. Anything happens, he just starts like, and you're like, what the fuck? Like at one point we're like the brother is just like, trying to like, okay, trying to like get along with, this weird kid. He cuts him some fruit, and yeah, like it probably wasn't like smart for him to like hand him like the fruit on the tip of a knife, being like, here, take this. But it's like, again, you're like 17, you're not like fully thinking that through, So then like the kid like starts biting the fruit on the knife, takes the knife, and then starts chomping on the fucking. This is a good gesture to do on camera. He starts chomping, just starts chomping on the knife, and like it's like the amount of blood, and then like it's like that on him, and then he's like. The brother's trying to pull the knife on and it just cuts like freaking cleft lip kind of shit. Just cuts it like that kind of stuff. You also find out that there's like a painted circle around the house, like a warded off circle. Like if you did like a salt circle, but like paint, like a white paint around like the property. It's like, what the fuck? And like the brother is like, all right, I gotta bring him and take him like to the hospital or something. And then Sally Hawkins and sister like come in, and she's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I don't know," that kind of stuff. And then like anytime the boy kind of like, also yeah, when he was like freaking out, right? He's like starts freaking out in the rain and all that, and all of a sudden he speaks. He goes, "Help me!" And he was just like, "What the fuck?" And again, selectively mute, Then like she brings him back in the house and then like scolds the brother, and obviously the sister can't see, scolds him away. She pops in some fucking gross ass like shot on video home video thing of just torture and shit, and it was just like they were like, oh, we're gonna. She like rubs a circle around his forehead, and he just like starts calming down, that kind of stuff, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what weird kind of like possession type shit? Like, what? And so much of the movie is just that it just keeps escalating, going like crazy like that. Where like, the brother just trying to do better. He's just trying to survive 3 months. So then he'll turn 18, and then like like apply to be legal guardian of his sister, and then they can like be good. Because then you learn that like the dad, was like very abusive to the son, so that's why he would lash out, and he had like hit the sister when he was younger, which is why like they were keeping an eye on him, because they were like, well, you have hit her previously. Again, shitty baby teenager to slightly older teenager, vast difference. He realized like, okay, can't be doing that. That's how he lashed out as an abusive dad. So, understandably so, with that father being dead, he's like, okay, protect the little sis and we'll be good. And that's what he was doing the whole time, is pressure against Sally Hawkins, this crazy action, all that's, oh my god, and then so there's one part where like the brother goes back to like the foster adoption like thing, and speaks to, like the woman, the agency woman, and he was like, okay, you gotta come check this out, because this shit ain't right, because like the boy got fucked up, and she didn't even take him to the hospital. There's weird shit happening, and she seems to be wanting to like keep me away from my sister and take her away, and they're like, I don't know what's going on. And then of course they're just like, the woman working there is like, well, what do you think is you, and hormones, and maybe it's you. And he was just like, just come over the house and see, like, damn bitch, like make a surprise appearance. And mind you, the house was like tore the fuck up, because the son was like starting to like super lash out, because like he's possessed by some fuck off demon, all the like all that stuff. Because the one part like she gets fucking like cut up by him, and then she starts like doing like bloody circle, like in like the the window door thing, the glass door window dealy, trying to calm him down because he's out in the rain, like rah 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 rah, like all that crazy shit, like oh my god. But yeah, you realize like he's possessed by some fucking demon, and then what they want to do is like like I don't know truly what the ritual was, but pretty much like have that demon then something feed on something, because you could tell like, oh, the demon is hungry because he's always like all that stuff. But like then you find out like in the not garage, the shed or something, there's a freezer and her dead daughter's body is in the freezer. So it's like, oh, she wants to like, resurrect the daughter by using the the little sister, the blind girl, because it's like, oh well, they're both blind, and it's just like use her body to like resurrect my dead child by using this demon. That's normal, you know. Yeah. So like, what you call it? Because like, because um, the woman had taken the woman, Sally Hawkins had taken the what do you call that? The sister to like blind dodgeball or something. That was very interesting to watch. Taking her to like her blind dodgeball practice, but then she was at home. The little kid was just fucking shit up. And then, because she snoops, she was listening to the sister's phone because she left her phone, and it was a voicemail from the brother being like, kind of like, I love you, and I'm gonna make everything better, and da da da, and we're coming to help. And so she realized, oh god, she's like, let me sweep up the place, let me clean everything up because it was just trashed, And then so they come over, and then it's all nice, and she's like, oh sorry, I was just in the shower, that type of beat, and then the woman at least noticed that her hand was bleeding, because then she like touched her face and it was just like blood. She's like, oh, are you bleeding? She's like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like just starts like losing it on the woman. The woman's like, what the fuck, yeah, so then like she freaking, she like kills the woman, like she fucking like kills the woman, and then it's like, anyway, and like I gotta go pick up the daughter, and also like fucking yeah, because then like the brother and the little boy were just like, I think he was trying to take the little boy like leave, and being like, okay, I need to save you, I don't know where my sister is. And then freaking Sally Hawkins like hits them both with like the car, and it was just like and then like drowns them in a puddle of water, like oh my god. So then she goes, picks up the sister, comes back, and of course like the people coaching the kids, she was like, can we talk about the eye? She's like, not right now. And it's like, all right, well, someone's gonna get reported, And then she brings her home, and the little sister, like, she's not stupid. She's blind, but she's not stupid. She like realizes like something's not right. Immediately runs into the bathroom, and then she like feels like, wait, someone's here, and realize it's her brother, because it's like she's like touching, he's like, okay, blood, and the brother has braces, and then she like she like touches, and she's like she's like, what did you do to him, and all that stuff. And then fucking whatchamacallit, like obviously the cops were being called because that woman like when she was like, get off of me, she's like, call the cops, something ain't right here. And so then like she tries to drown the sister, in the pool, to be like, well, if I drown this girl somehow, like then my daughter will resurrect. It's like, okay, like processing grief. Remember I was saying how like movies that like show you about the process of grief in the vein of horror, da da da. This is definitely a way to process grief, where I'm just gonna kill several children to get my one child back. I mean, I guess, damn, bitch. She's like trying to drown in her pool. She ends up like escaping and all this. She like runs off, thank God, And then the boy, like he's past the white line, and he's just covered in blood, like like that kind of stuff. The girl, she runs out, and then she's all fucked up, and she runs in front of like a car, and they're like, oh my god, honey, are you okay? And she's like, help me. They take her in the car, they just drive her off. She's safe, you know what I mean? And it's like so sad, because she ends up like hearing like the voicemail of her brother being like, hey, the whole like, I'm gonna help you, blah blah blah. And there was like something said like in the beginning of the movie, like when the dad died, saying like when the sister was just kind of like hiding under the bed and just trying to like getting away from like adults and stuff, and the brother was trying to like calm her down and saying like, and when he was gonna talk to her, you hear an airplane go by and he's like, hey, you know what, that's dad, that's dad, he wasn't buried and all that stuff, he's just on a plane, he's on a trip, he's just on a trip. And after she hears like the voicemail kind of stuff, and she's in the car, like at like a railroad crossing or all that stuff. She hears a plane go by, like perfect timing, of course, because the plot said so. So she kind of just like, oh, like knowing, yeah, obviously, duh, her brother's dead, but also knowing that like he's good, he's passed on, kind of stuff. Um, and yeah, so then like the cops come, and like I said, the little boy is like not possessed anymore. And he's just like, he's like, help me, help me. He's like, my name is Connor. Oh yeah, like the brother had figured that out because while he's at the adoption foster thing, he sees like missing persons posters and sees like the little dude. Although obviously in the picture the kid has like curly longer hair, kind of stuff. But it's like, but it's the kid, So that's why he was like, she says his name is Oliver, but on this poster says his name is Connor. So he's like, help me, my name is Connor. And the police are like, oh my god. And the kid's like, really skinny too. So like, oh my god, they take the kid away. Then they get to, the pool, and they see like, Sally Hawkins is just like lying in like, kind of like, I mean, she's lying on her side. So like, whatever deep water holding her dead child like in the pool. It's fucking sad as fuck, because it's like you lose your child and then you fucking go through psychosis to like, let me adopt other children to then have one be possessed and then like kill these kids. That's why she didn't want to adopt the brother mainly, so she could kill these kids so she could then get her child back. Like, God, it's insane, ma'am. My god, people will do anything but go to therapy, right? I mean, it's Australia, you guys have health care. It's not like here where it's just like, I don't know, I just watch movies to keep the voices away, keep the demons at bay, type shit. But yeah, like this one was just like, you're rooting for the brother and sister. You want good things to happen to them. You know what I mean? Like it already sucks. Like like the odds are against them because like the sister has a disability and the brother has like a shitty track record as a teenager. But you're like, you'll be fine, man. We'll be fine. The next paycheck, it's kind of like the next paycheck will be fine. We're just gonna get on our feet. We're get on our feet, and it's just like more, And then the poor little boy that was just like kidnapped, for the sake of whatever, like that's a strange YouTube tutorial. Like what? Like Sally Hawkins did amazing, but like of course she's a great actress, so it was really good. The goriness obviously was very good. At no point like when I was watching the movie was like, again, there were certain elements where as I've said previously, where you kind of have an idea where the movie's going, but it doesn't ruin, like there's no real like, oh, the payoff, but it was just like you knew what was gonna happen. You knew she's like, as she's like the escalation of her freaking out, you knew what she's gonna do. She's gonna kill everyone. I feel like I'd be disappointed if she did kill like the brother. You know what I mean? Like, thank God that the little girl got away, because I really thought, I was like, oh no, everyone's dead at the end. Like everyone's dead at the end. So the fact that she got away, it's like, whew, But like I said, I really enjoyed this. I'm very happy, like I said, for the Raka Raka guys to be doing this, because there was some time like their YouTube shit was just kind of getting like a little, I don't want to say stale, but I think it was just like they're trying to, up the ante to the point where it's like, oh, we lit this car on fire kind of thing, but we saved the memory card. And it was like, all right, you know what I mean? They had like this like mansion thing that they bought or rented. It was making content out of it. And like everything was just hitting that like obnoxious, dude, it's a prank type of level of things. You know what I mean? They weren't doing fake pranks, but like the level of obnoxiousness they were hitting was starting to get there. And it was like, all right. And I'm glad that they were able to be like, we're gonna do like film and all that stuff, and then they got picked up, and then A24 are like, we like this shit, we want more of this. So can't wait for Talk to Me, or Talk to Me Too, or whatever, however they want to put it. So I'm glad. I'm very glad that they're able to have like a good avenue of their creativity and all that stuff. But yeah, Like I said, that's Bring Her Back. Get it? That's the title. Bring her back. Bring the daughter back, because she did. She drowned in the pool. Yeesh. You know? Like, I don't know, just like a guardrail or something, you know what I mean? If someone's blind or what, I don't know. Also, I feel like having the pool empty doesn't help too, because like when like the sister had walked out, the brother was like, "Oh, watch your step," you know. Again, it's like empty. It's even worse because then you're at the bottom of the pool. I don't know. I don't have a pool. I'm broke. You think this I got pool money here? Please. I just fixed my car. You know how much extra credit card debt I'm in? You know? Anyway, subscribe to my Patreon. It's only $1.